About 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, incurable, progressive, kind of freaked me out. About a year after I had already gone through a cancer therapy. So I was having trouble finding the funny in Parkinson's. Funny, I just went to YouTube, typed in funny Parkinson. Got a comedian, Vicky Clafkin, who listed things you could only do if you had Parkinson's. I thought, well, that's a good idea. So I gave myself a new nickname, Lady Shakes a Lot. And I started thinking of things that I could do with my superpower, which is a tremor in my left hand. I could be a bartender, specializing in James Bond martinis. Shaken, not stirred. There's some James Bond fans in the audience. Shaken, not stirred. I could be a restaurant critic, specializing in restaurants that make thick soups, like peanut soup and split pea soup and potato soup. If I can't get the spoon to my mouth without it falling off, it's not thick enough. What else? I could work for a landscape designer. I would specialize in simulating trees, shaken aspen. I could work in a morgue. Every morning I'd go in and I'd shake all the bodies, make sure they're still dead. So every now and then, something happens that reminds me the world has changed. So junior high, Fortnite, and Cher. Fortnite. Some people who play it. I'll get to Cher. Let's start with junior high. When my son was about 13, I went into his bedroom one day. He was playing on the computer. I said, "What are you up to?" And he said, "Well, I'm working on a computer programming contest." And I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Yeah, I've assembled a team." "How did you assemble your team?" Thinking he would tell me that he had friends who were good at math, good at games, good at programming, and they all got together and decided to enter the contest. Nope. What he said was, "Well, I put a request out online and asked people who want to enter the contest with me to let me know." I got a kid from India, somebody from Europe, somebody from Minnesota, and we entered the programming contest together. And that's when I knew the world had changed. Now, I've been a programmer all my life. This was 25 years ago. Now, of course, you can get a husband or wife online. True enough, I know lots of people, friends who've matched up that way. So Fortnite. So skip ahead to just this past summer. My grandson is now almost 13. He was on the computer. He talked his grandfather into buying him that Fortnite game so he could play it when he was visiting us. That was all well and good. So I like to find out what my kids are doing on computers, so I asked him what was going on. He said, "Well, I'm playing with these players who turned out are really good. I've noticed they're really good. And when players notice that other players are good, they start coordinating and start teaming together, working together, playing together." I said, "That's great. So how do you coordinate?" He said, "Well, we talk to each other." I said, "So you have a chat box or something?" "No, we talk to each other." "Over a microphone live?" Yeah, over a microphone. We talk to each other when we're playing and coordinate." He said, "The funny thing though is sometimes there are people in the background that you can hear." So like I overheard one mom yelling at her son who was on the computer saying, "Let your brother watch you." I said, "You can hear her in the background?" "Oh, yeah. What else can you hear?" "Well, I heard a wife telling her husband, 'Let your son play his game. It's his game.'" And that's when I knew the world had changed. So, Cher. So my daughter-in-law was reading through some of my old comedy routines. She came across one where I was talking about Cher. And Cher was an image. The reason I used Cher is because she was an image of a beautiful, tall, skinny woman. My daughter-in-law said, "Who's Cher?" So I explained to her who Cher was. She was a singer back in the 70s, tall, beautiful, skinny woman. She said, "Well, you should use Giselle." And I said, "Who's Giselle?" And that's when I knew the world had changed. I'm Carol Covin. You can find me on Facebook. Carol as in Christmas Carol, Covin, C-O-V as in Victor, I-N. I've written a book, Who Gets to Name Grandma? Available at Prospero's around the corner in Amazon. Easy read, one evening with a glass of wine. Conversations between mothers and grandmothers about how to raise a grandchildren. Thank you.